Happy 4th of July to everybody. Y'all tuned in to another video with Bit Fun Yuns, man. Of course, we're going to talk about the market, and today has been a beautiful day, man, in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and dive into the charts, and I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. All right, so far, as we always do, November of 2022 was the start of our bullish rise. We have gone up 375% since November of 2022. Right now we are experiencing a nice correction from our high of 73K, which is our new all-time high that we set back in March of 2024. We've had a correction then, had the halving as well, sometime like mid-April, I'll say like April 15th or something like that. And we got to the bottom of the range. We eventually created a deviation here at the beginning of May, end of April. And we also just basically shot up from the low, got up like 25% and tested our range high again at 71K. But ultimately, we cannot really break past our 71K resistance and ended up dropping to what is now a 20% correction, all the way dating back to July or June 7th. So basically a month ago, we've had a month worth of correction, right? And so this puts us in an interesting place. I say this because if you look at it, we've been basically range bound, and we've been talking about this. If you've been tuned into this channel, everybody knows that we've been range bound for the last 125 days. This would be really our second time breaking below the range, and we're outside the range now. What is today? On July 4th. So we've broken out of the range, and this causes a couple questions for just, curiosity. Like, all right, we've broken out of this range. What are some of the levels that we can reach now as far as support, right? So although it's not the greatest level of support, we still have the 56K area still at support. But because we really broke through this range, and if we get a daily close, it's confirming that we could definitely see much lower price action, right? If you see this candle, this daily candle alone, if we can just measure that from the top all the way here, that's a 10% move in a day. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a weekly candle. I lied. But still, even for the last 3 days, we take it here, that's still a 10% drop within the last 3 days. Bearish. And it's not kind of sad, but it's interesting because I mentioned this in my previous video. I said that, all right, and I ain't gonna lie, I get a lot of my information from just doing my own research and watching other YouTubers and just putting all the information together. But shout out to Sammy Loyal at Four Flies, man. He is a great mentor. Y'all gotta check out his channel. Amazing dude. He's part of the reason why I've just kind of elevated next in my journey. But that's not here nor there. I just wanted to give you your flowers just in case you see this video. But I mentioned that, okay, as this level right here at 60K was getting hit multiple times. I mentioned that previously, all right, we had all these different momentum moves, or basically rejections at this area, but once we got here, it's definitely slowing down, right? I used the analogy before, like, all right, if you have an axe and you're hitting a tree, the more times that you hit that tree, the more likely it is that that tree is going to fall down, right? And that's essentially what happened in this case. We came down, we had another hit here, we had a 5% move towards the upside, but basically it wasn't enough. And we came down, and once we hit again here Wednesday, which was yesterday, we just basically crumbled below, right? And we got a smooth little retest here on the 4 hour. If you want to look at that, that's this sole bullish candle. It retested this area after it broke, and now we're continuing to slide. Now, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited because when I see opportunities like this basically means that, excuse me, This basically means that a bullish opportunity is basically around the corner. So like I mentioned before, we have a couple areas that we can just kind of look at and see, all right, where could price be headed to, right? So one of the things that I like to do is scroll over to the weekly. I'm trying to keep everything in picture. Scroll over to the weekly, and our next level, in my opinion, as I mentioned, is 56K, but because we're already breaking down now, we could possibly break this level. So the next one I'm seeing is this area right here. So I will take this, take the top of that zone right here, boom, really place it in between there. That's one zone that I'm seeing right here, which is at around, like, the top of the range is like around 53K. The low of the range, we can even sharpen it like that. That's what I'm seeing. That's scenario one. Scenario two is going to be closer to 44K, which is this area right here. This whole area right here, right? So these are the next two areas which I'm seeing. Now, if I scroll over or go to the daily, it just gives you like kind of a better view of what it is, right? So you can tell, like, that's a deviation right here. You can tell that's a deviation above the range, and we have that right there, right? So these are basically the two zones that I'm looking at, like 52K, 50K. Man, if I'm able to get an entry at 50K, I think that would be very reasonable, just off the fact that, okay, we're still in a bullish market, guys. That hasn't changed, and that's not really going to change for a long time, at least in my opinion. But once we get down here, right, we're able to grab some support, because you can see here, boom, you can see here served as rejection, some support, support right here, rejection right here, support right here, rejection. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will be the 10th time that we just seen a nice move off this area. We also have this whole area right here sitting at 44K, along with all this price action right here, which is just hard to ignore, right? So while everybody's panicking right now based off the fact that Bitcoin is sliding, this really just get people that are really like true traders and people that have been in this industry for a minute understands that this is the best opportunity, and it's really healthy for the market. I can't really stress that enough. Now, one thing that I am looking at is like, okay, in the midterm or the shorter time frames, we do have, let me go ahead and mark it out for you. We do have this area right here, which is just simply our like last line of support, which is here at basically 57, 56K, before things can start to continue to slide. So from here all the way to our next zone is like let's do the middle of the range, is close to a 9% move. If we continue down to like the middle, it could be another 24% move. Now this 44K may not be as realistic, just off the fact that from the high of this all the way down here, that would have been a 42% correction. On average, we really haven't been seeing that. I think it's been closer to maybe 20% for our corrections in the bull market. But yeah, so I'm not surprised if that happens though. I'm prepared either way. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So we might capture some support here in this range. We might come back up and test this area, this 58K area. If we can get above that, start to collect some support here. It's just different levels that we have along the way. We have really 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We really got 5 levels of resistance ahead if we're thinking about turning bullish again. But right now, in the meantime, dude, I'm so excited. I don't think y'all really understand that. I think this is like, man, this is one of the best things that can happen for me personally and the market. if we scroll over to traditional finance, we can just see how it's just been bullish, guys. Like the S&P has been continuing to rise, really from its last correction here in April. We've had a slight, very, I won't say small, but miniature correction that lasted. Okay, it lasted like 20 days, so a little more than a half a month, and then we were able to continue to see this move continue towards the upside of within the last 33 days, which is amazing. Yeah, that's really good. And we can see like the this entire week has been bullish. If we scroll over to the week, like look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles of pure bullish action. Guys, look at this. That is just amazing. That's amazing. It looks good. As you can see, the same thing with US or NAS 100. Still bullish, just despite having a red week last week. We're still continuing the same trend. Like, dude. Now, another thing that caused me to think, all right, things may be starting to change. It's going to be the Dixie. So the Dixie, over the last, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over the last 6 days, price has been deciding to correct and come back down. And if you've been in crypto for a while, if you know about Bitcoin for real, that the dollar and Bitcoin have an inverse correlation, meaning that if the Dixie is deciding to go down, Bitcoin tends to go up. If the Dixie is trending up, Bitcoin decides or tends to go down. So because we're in somewhat of a retracement here on the Dixie, it looks like Bitcoin has an opportunity and has the likelihood of reversing and going back up. So that's basically what I'm seeing there. One of the biggest things though is, okay, where Bitcoin would be retracing back. One of the key things that I've learned just in my trading journey is that when price reaches a nice area of support, you will have it will tend to have a nice recovery. So as you can see here, once price got here, we shot back up. Once price entered this zone, we shot up. Once price entered a support zone, we shot up. Support zone, we shot up. Support zone, we shot up. Now, one of the things that I see right here is that we're here in this area. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, we're here on the daily. And so we have, 10 more hours until the daily closes. So if we're able to come back up and like close up here, this might serve as another deviation. But if we close somewhere down here, in my opinion, I believe that we might have more room towards the downside. So, that's just basically what I'm seeing, guys. But then again, it's not always like that where it's just going to be a quick bounce. You can have times where, all right, we're in this area for a while, we're testing, just basically consolidating to the point where eventually we'll create a lower high or a higher low and then, continue towards the upside. But you have little deviations like that, or wicks, like that, like this. Like you can see them throughout these wicks. Once you find a nice support zone, once Bitcoin finds one, it's like, okay, cool. Like it's all throughout. That's basically what these wicks are saying. My fault. That's basically what these wicks are saying, guys. So, man, again, I'm excited. I believe this is a bullish video in my opinion. If we look at Ethereum, oh man, it just broke our support level, or at least the mid-range. Like if we come down here, this is beautiful in my opinion, and I'm just, man, I'm excited. So we have the potential, as you can see, all these wicks, this serves as a nice support zone. So if we come back here to the range low, it might be a nice buying opportunity. As you can see here, we still haven't really broken through this trend line here on the ETH BTC chart. So it's not really altcoins time to shine yet, or at least Ethereum's time to shine. So we're just gonna hold patient, be patient. But I just really wanted to create a video on just the recent price action that we're having. The market is gonna open in the next 12 minutes. So we'll see how that has an effect on Bitcoin's current price action. But in the meantime, man, if you made it this far throughout the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all be easy. I'm catch y'all in the next one.